What is happening, Talkin VAWLS fam, and the rest of Big Orange Nation out there? It's your boy Dobber here with the S&B Network, dropping a short video for you. Go ahead and hit that like button for this video, and then do yourself a favor and hit the bell so you can get notifications and keep up with our regularly scheduled podcasts, as well as when we drop special content videos like this. With our Vols sitting here right now and everyone speculating about their bowl berth after closing the season out on a hot streak of 5 straight dubs, I wanted to look back at this 2019 season, even the parts that we want to forget. It's a complete night and day difference from how this season began to how we closed out. This team is showing signs of turning the corner and becoming a good team. Now, don't mistake what I just said. It's becoming a good team, not a great team. I think that we're probably 1 to 2 recruiting cycles away from having the athletes, especially at a few key positions, to compete with the top tier elite teams. But this turnaround and the positive momentum that we have right now, I wanted to throw it out there and see what the biggest story of this season is for you guys. The Vols opened the 2019 campaign doing the unthinkable, dropping a game to 26-point underdog Georgia State. Tennessee actually paid them $950,000 to come into Neyland and hand us arguably the worst loss in school history. Following the devastating Georgia State loss, the Vols had a monumental letdown against BYU, which saw the Vols give up a huge pass play with 16 seconds left in the game to set up a tying field goal to force overtime, where the Vols would go on to eventually lose in double overtime. After a Week 3 win over UTC, the Big Orange traveled down to Gainesville with a chance to ease the pains of the early season with a win over the Gators. Tennessee never got anything going and made too many mistakes and penalties to overcome, losing in a game that was never close, 34-3. 4 games into the 2019 season, with unexpected and underwhelming poor play from redshirt junior quarterback Jarrett Garantano, Vol Nation was in full-blown panic. The remaining schedule seemed grim, and a change was made in effort to provide a needed spark. JG was benched in favor of the big, live-armed, true freshman Brian Maurer. After a bye week and given the spark of true freshman Brian Maurer making his first career start, the Vols hung with the Dogs for a quarter and a half until a missed field goal turned into what would become a 14-point swing Georgia's way, and then the lack of talent and depth was clearly exposed in the second half as the Bulldogs ran away with the win 43-14. A little glimmer of hope can be seen if you looked close enough on the third Saturday in October, which saw Tennessee battling the nation's number 1 ranked Alabama team tough throughout the entire game. The Vols had a chance to cut the lead to a 1-score game midway through the fourth quarter, when QB Jarrett Garantano went off script and ended up fumbling a QB sneak at the goal line that was returned 100-plus yards by the Crimson Tide to make the final score look more lopsided than the game actually was. Somehow, after such a disastrous start to the season, the Vols were able to right the ship and turn it around to close the season out with 5 straight victories over South Carolina, UAB, Kentucky, Missouri, and in-state little brother Vanderbilt. I've already mentioned the early season struggles of JG and how he was benched for Brian Maurer. But this is just another layer to the craziness of this season and how weird this quarterback situation has been. Brian Maurer has never finished a game he's started. he took a welcome to college football decleater shot to the ribs in his first start against Georgia and left that game early. He was upended and scorpioned on his head in the Mississippi State game and left early. And the following week against Alabama, he again took a shot to the head and forced him to exit early. Jarrett Garantano came off the bench in these games and played better than he did early in the season. He ended up breaking a bone in his non-throwing hand during the win over South Carolina. He had surgery on the Sunday and then played the next week and finished out the regular season, leading the team to 4 more wins, bowl eligibility, including a record-setting night at Missouri where he threw for 415 yards. Year 2 has certainly been a crazy season for Tennessee head coach Jeremy Pruitt. Is this the turning point for him as a head coach? He's currently sitting at 500 right now with a record of 12 wins and 12 losses. We've discussed whether or not Pruitt is the guy almost weekly on our Talkin VAWLS podcast since the season preview show, where we said the jury is still out on Pruitt. There were times that some thought he's not the guy, and he would never recover from the Week 1 loss to Georgia State. But somehow this season, he's managed to not lose this locker room. He's managed to keep this team from checking out, all the while getting continued improvement over the course of this season. They've grinded it out and finished with a 7-5 record with the bowl game remaining to play. I, for one, hope that we can enter the 2020 season continuing this upward trend and positive forward momentum. Jump in the comments here. Leave me your thoughts on the 2019 season, your thoughts on head coach Jeremy Pruitt and the job he has done, and what you want to see from the Vols in 2020. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel now. This one's going to wrap it up for me. For the SMB Network, my name is Dobber. Go Big Orange.